This came up from CNA. I saw this headline and found it fascinating. Trump attacks Harris on her support of tax funded transgender surgeries for prisoners. Now, do you think that this is something that taxpayers should be paying for? Transgender surgeries for prisoners? It's going to be couched as some kind of medical necessity. Is that really medically necessary? And is that something you, perhaps as an American citizen, for those of y'all who are citizens of the United States who are watching, is that something that you want to support with your tax dollars? I mean, haven't they already abused this when it comes to tax dollars already? I mean, aren't they using tax dollars to fund abortions, murder of innocent infants? Now we have to pay for transgender surgeries for prisoners? Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I'm not in favor of that. I'm sorry. If somebody wants to do that to themselves, I don't recommend it, but I sure don't want to pay for it. So let's see what it says. With Election Day less than a month away, former President Donald Trump is running campaign advertisements in a swing state that criticize Vice President Kamala Harris over her support for taxpayer funded transgender surgeries for prisoners. Wow. It's hard to believe, but it's true, a narrator said in one advertisement, while showing Harris standing next to Sam Brinton, a former Department of Energy official who is male, but is wearing women's clothing. What does scripture say, by the way, about that? What does scripture say about men wearing women's clothing and women wearing men's clothing? Anybody know? Put your answer in the comment section. I'm looking at the comments while I'm doing all of this live, so I want to see if y'all catch it. Go ahead and put it there. The advertisement features Harris's response to a 2019 questionnaire sent out by the American Civil Liberties Union, in which she promises to use executive authority to ensure that people in prisons, including immigrants charged with entering the country illegally, can obtain gender transition surgeries through government provided medical care. So do you want to not only pay for somebody who is a prisoner to get a sex change surgery, but not only just a prisoner, but one who came here illegally? Do you want to pay for their sex change surgeries? Again, yeah, no. It's a yeah, no for me. I suspect most people watching this feel the same way. But if you don't, let me hear from you. Put your answer in the comment section and let me know why you disagree. And good question, Matthew. I see your question in the comment section. Why do they need sex changes? Well, it's going to be couched as medical necessity. You see this? Medical care. You know, I love the way they use these euphemisms. I love the way they couch some of this stuff. Medical care. Medical care. They also speak of murdering innocent infants in the womb as medical care. They call that health care. Mm-hmm. Murdering innocent people is health care. Jose asks how many prisoners even want a sex change. I don't know. I did not even know that was a thing, to be honest with you. I did not know, Jose. I did not know that anybody in prison was asking for a sex change, let alone illegals. You got me on that one. I support policies ensuring that federal prisoners and detainees are able to obtain medically necessary care for gender transition. So there's an answer to your question, Matthew. They're couching it as medical necessity. Medical necessity. I mean, so basically, these days you can do anything you want. You can do anything you want and just couch it as medical necessity. And we're good to go, right? Hey, you know what? You don't like your nose? You feel like you want a nose that looks like Peter Pan? Okay, make that happen. Well, hold on, wait. I thought that this isn't going to be covered by the insurance. Well, you know what? We're going to make it medically necessary now. Just slap that label medically necessary on there. We're good to go. That's the way this comes across. Stuff that isn't medically necessary, you can get it paid for by just slapping the label medical necessity on it when it's very clear this is not medically necessary. How is it medically necessary? to change how God made you. How's that medically necessary? Explain that to me. Well, it's not. I suspect the argument would be, well, it's psychologically necessary. Maybe this person is struggling with their gender identity and blah, blah, blah. Well, perhaps we need some mental health care, but not sex changing surgeries. And it includes surgical care while incarcerated or detained, Harris said. Again, y'all want to pay for that? Well, if she's elected, she's saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to make sure that this is paid for. And your tax dollars are going to be used for that. As California Attorney General, I pushed the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation to provide gender transition surgery to state inmates, she added. The advertisements also include a brief clip from a 2019 interview with a National Center for Transgender Equality Fund, in which Harris doubles down on the position. A second Trump advertisement out this month touches on the same subject and details a case in which convicted murderer Shiloh Quine, who is a male, reached a legal settlement with then California Attorney General Harris to obtain government-funded transgender surgery while in prison. He murdered a father of 3, sentenced to life in prison. Kamala Harris pushed to use tax dollars to pay for his sex change. Wait, what? Shouldn't he be paying back the American citizens after such a crime? How is it that American citizens are paying for that? Harris initially represented the Department of Corrections in court, which was refusing to pay for the transgender surgery. Well, yeah. However, she ultimately agreed to a settlement in 2015, which required the state to finance the operation. Wow, the great state of California. The settlement made California the first state to pay for a prisoner's transgender surgery, the Associated Press reported at the time. In 2019 news conference, Harris said she only defended the department's policy because she was obligated to do so as the Attorney General. She said there were times when her clients took positions that were contrary to her beliefs, but that she worked behind the scenes to pressure the department to change its policies. In 2015, California Department of Corrections set new guidelines that guarantee government-funded transgender surgeries for prisoners who seek those operations. This is just a clown show. This is just wild. It's hard to believe that this is actually happening in the United States. It really is. It's so hard to believe this. I don't understand what is happening to this nation. This is wild. It's like we sink into a new level of depravity every day, a deeper and deeper level. And when you think you finally reach the bottom, nope. They come out with something that you just would have never thought of. Something even wilder than before. And yet here is an example of that. Heartbreaking, but what can we do but pray, Rosalind says? Well, I think we can not only pray, but also vote against this stuff. Oppose this stuff. Make your voice known. And not only just vote and pray, but also try to influence others to vote against this stuff. Influence others. Share your position on why you believe this is wrong. I mean, we can start out with the fact that this is contrary to God's will. God made us as we are. To go and get a sex change surgery is to say, God made a mistake in assigning my gender at conception. We're saying God made a mistake. I suppose this is the outflow of atheistic thinking that merely assumes that there isn't a God and perhaps there's just some mistake here at birth. This is certainly not something that is consistent with a theological paradigm. Hey, thanks for watching that highlight clip. If you want to watch the full video, click on the link in the show notes. By the way, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to support this channel, a great way to do it is patreon.com/Reason and Theology. You'll also get access to extra patron-only content, Check it out now, patreon.com/Reason and Theology. God bless.